Okay, so the final chapter of Don't Blush, Sekime-san. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. This series has finally come to an end. The final chapter just dropped today, and now that the final chapter came out, it just makes me wish that I didn't drop this series in the beginning. And that I read it all the way through, because now that I've caught up to the entire series and have read the final chapter, I wish that we had some more chapters. Now I am begging for more, but sadly we won't be getting any more chapters from this series unless the author decides to come back with a continuation, or perhaps a different story similar to this one, but like with different characters. And honestly, this series is honestly a series that, like I said, I dropped this series at the beginning because I really wasn't a huge fan of, the whole thing of, the main female character, her blushing every single time she saw the main character, and how she would always run away from the main character every single time. Pretty much the first few chapters, it was always like that, even though, even when, he confessed and they started going out, she was always, blushing and would always turn away from him. And at the beginning I was a bit annoyed with that plot line, but as I took a break from the series, came back, reread the series, right, now I started to appreciate this little moments, because seeing her grow as a person, her stopping, to blush every single time that she would, be around the main character, and how she would grow to, to get up, to get closer to the MC, right, to where they are, finally able to hold hands at the end of the, this chapter, the final chapter of this series, was definitely really, really wholesome. And also, the side characters within the story are also really, really good, right? They each have their own problems, their own issues, which, they somewhat do resolve them in this series, and it's just really, really good to see these characters alongside the two main characters, the main female character and the main male character. It was just really, really nice and just a really, really wholesome series, a very cute series that honestly I'm gonna miss this series, and I'm probably gonna reread it again after I'm done with this video. But I kind of noticed that this series is, kind of similar to Komi-san. I kind of noticed that a lot of series nowadays are kind of following a similar trope to Komi-san. Now, what do I mean? See, there is this series which, the main female character, she of course blushing, and she would always run away, right, and she would, be insecure to talk about the main character. Kind of similar to how Komi-san was, how she was, always trying to talk to people and stuff like that. And of course, there was another series, similar to Komi-san, which is called something like please please don't be scared to interact with strangers. Hitomi-san, I think that's the name of the series. I haven't read it. I honestly haven't read it because I kind of just want to finish reading Komi-san all the way to its conclusion, so that afterwards I can, read this brand new series to see if it has the same impact that Komi-san gave me when I was, reading it. But scrapping all those two series, going back to, the series that I'm talking about right now, it was honestly a really wholesome, series. And the final chapter, I felt like it really helped to like, this final chapter just concluded so many things. It concluded, the main female character, her finally being able to get, close to the MC, her being able to talk to him, right, without being scared or anything like that, and to finally have the courage to hold hands with the main character. Something that she really wasn't able to do so, for a while throughout this manga. And seeing that development was, really amazing. Honestly, like I said, I wish we had more, because if we gotten to this point to where she's finally able to hold hands with the main character, I really wanted to see, them progress to, to do other things, such like, kissing and pretty much like have a somewhat normal relationship, right, to where they're not scared to, you know, to flirt with each other. I really wish that, you know, we got to see a lot more of this, right? And sadly we won't be getting it because, again, this is the final chapter of the series. But even though I'm gonna miss this series, it was definitely a really good series to read. And if you guys have read this series, please tell me what are your thoughts on this series. Are you guys sad that this series has come to an end? If so, tell me why. And was there anything that you guys didn't like about this series, about this manga, right? And of course, did you end up quitting, you know, dropping this series at some point for some reason, right? If there was a reason why you dropped this series, like I did, please tell me your reason as to why you dropped this series early on, but, you know, you came back to read the series once again. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys do you know, enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.